Hi Virgos, Trishna here. Welcome to your September 2019 general reading. So what I'm feeling for you is I feel like leading up into September, you are kind of in a rough situation. So I feel like there's two things going on here. I feel like in reality what's going on is you have maybe been thrown out into the cold in some way. Maybe you've been given the cold shoulder. Maybe you've been exiled out of some group. Maybe you've been kicked out. Maybe you've been told that you don't belong. I feel like there's some way that you have been shaken up or shook recently. And this is what has transpired. And I feel like the other side of this is what's going on in your mind, which is, I feel like you are a little bit shaken, but you are trying to move forward, you're back on your feet, and you're trying to make the most of the situation. But I also feel like you're somewhat in denial of what's actually going on. I feel like your ego has gotten in the way, and in trying to protect your ego, you have basically told yourself that whatever issues have been created or whatever issues exist have nothing to do with you. It's their problem. It's just them not reacting to you. It's, them not appreciating you, or maybe you're telling yourself that you're, ahead of your time, or, this is just the wrong group of people and they just don't resonate with you. Like, I feel like somehow your ego is getting in the way of allowing you to see your play into this whole situation and what you are putting out there and the things that you're saying and doing and the way that people are responding to it and the responsibility that you have in that kind of interaction and situation. So, I feel like, you know, you've been kicked out in some way, but you are somehow convincing yourself that this has nothing to do with you and has everything to do with them, and there's nothing that you need to work on. You're trying to protect your ego too much. And I feel like you're being selfish in this situation because you're not keeping an open mind to the mistakes that maybe you have made in the situation or the way that you have contributed to what went on. And being selfish is not you, Virgo. That is not you. You are somebody who thinks a lot about other people and how things affect them. You're very considerate, very nurturing, very loving. And so I feel like the way that you're responding to the situation is with selfishness, but I don't feel like that's what led you to the situation. I feel like what brought you here is, you're putting yourself out there, you're trying to make the most, you're trying to do your best, and in doing that, you were so focused on what you were doing that you were not paying attention to the signs. You were ignoring the signs that were there, you weren't noticing them, and that's what led you to the situation, was you basically trying to do your best and focusing on you and not really noticing how people are interacting to you or what you're putting out there and how people are responding to it. And so you weren't being selfish. That's not how this all happened, and you're not paying attention to the signs and other people's reactions and just like your contribution to your relationships and the groups that you're a part of. You kind of created these situations, and now you've been kind of told that you don't belong. Like, you've kind of been thrown out into the cold, and now the way that you're responding to that is through selfishness because you're protecting your ego right now. And what I want to say is, yeah, like, I think in some situations, sometimes we can be rejected by others because we are too early for our time, or people don't yet have the capacity to understand just all that we offer. Sometimes that is the case. But I feel like in your case, this is really a growth opportunity for you. I feel like, you know, in protecting your ego, you're doing yourself a disservice in the long run. And that this does have something to do with what you've been putting out into the world. And this is something that you do need to work on to grow as a person and as a spirit. And I also feel like, maybe your birthday's already come around, or maybe it's about to come around, but this is the time of your birthday. This is like the 30 or so days that is your birthday time. And I feel like you really want so much for your birthday time to be easy. You want to be given a gift. You want something nice to happen in your life because it has been rough. You have been struggling. You have been working really hard. And it would just be nice if the universe could be on your side just for this time at least. And what I want to say is the universe is on your side. And the universe is giving you a gift. It's giving you this lesson of building character. And that is just the best gift that you could ever receive, Virgo. And that's because, number one, you really are committed to your growth as a person and as a spirit. And so even though the lesson is a little hard and you wish it could be a little bit easier, at least at this point in time, you are receiving a lesson, which is something that ultimately you want because you want to grow. That brings you so much happiness when you're able to grow. And the other part of it is that you absolutely value good character in others, and you very, very, very much want to always embody good character in yourself. And lately, I don't know that you really have been. Or if you have, somehow it's rubbed people the wrong way, and it's not about them, it's about you too. Like, this is something that you need to work on. And so this is giving you a gift of not only a lesson and an area of growth, which is already amazing for you, it's already like a dream come true for you, but it's like even more so because it's a lesson and a growth area with respect to building good character, which is like a million times better. It's like the best lesson that you, Virgo, can have because you love good character and being somebody of good, strong character, somebody who has integrity and is very respectful and appreciative and just good character all around. So you're actually being given a gift. And yes, I know it's a little bit difficult, but whenever you have these lessons, especially I guess right now, like in this case, and especially around your birthday, I feel like whatever lessons come to you to learn, whatever growth opportunities come your way, they're the lessons that will last you a lifetime. They're the lessons that can carry you for decades into your future. And that's not something that can be bought. That's not something that can just be given. That's like truly something that integrates with your soul and your spirit. And because it's something that's harder to get, it's also something that you can't lose. Once you learn it, you can't lose those lessons. And so really try to see this as just an amazing opportunity that you've been given, even though it seems difficult. So now, how do you deal with this? How do you take this lesson, grow from it, and learn and start making your life the way you want it to be again? Because even though you're protecting your ego and you're kind of in denial about this whole situation, it still hurts. And that's another reason why you're protecting yourself. You're trying to avoid the pain of this rejection that has happened to you. And so it's all very, very understandable. But how do you move past this? How do you make the most of the situation? And the way to do that is, I think that you really just need to take a moment and sit and just try to understand the scenario and be really open, release the ego, let the ego calm down, and just say, I'm just trying to understand what's happening here. I'm not placing any blame on myself. I'm not even going to place blame on other people. I just want to understand. I just want to sit with the scenario. I just want to sit with all the events that have transpired. I just want to sit with anything that comes up about how I got to the situation. I just want to sit with it, and I want to be gentle with it, and I want to be gentle with myself. And I think that the lesson will come through pretty clearly because it's already there. Like, your ego is already aware of it. It's just protecting you. Your subconscious already knows. You're just being protected from it. Once you let that ego go, once you just say, I want to be gentle with myself and with this lesson, your ego can relax because it knows you're not blaming yourself. You're not going to beat yourself up about this. You're just trying to have a better understanding of what exactly happened, and that's it. And so I think it will come to you pretty clearly what exactly happened and what the lesson is. And once you know what it is, this shouldn't take too long. I feel like this whole exercise will take about 10 minutes of your time. Once you know what it is, just say, I understand. I appreciate being aware of this, and I now let it go. And that's all that you need to do, is you just need to let it go and just say, like, I'm going to be gentle with myself. And once that's done, that's all you need. You don't have to fix this problem. You don't have to go out and apologize. Like, just let everything else that comes from this come naturally. And I think that if you do this exercise, I think that September 2019 is going to go much better for you. I feel like you're going to feel much better by the end of it. You're going to feel more positive. You're going to feel stronger on the inside. I feel like on a mental level, you are going to be beating yourself up about this a little bit. Like, how did I get to this? Why did I do that? Why did this happen? Don't try not to do that. Try to release the negative self-talk, because once you do this exercise, this 10-minute exercise of being gentle, knowing what exactly the problem here was, how it transpired, and then just letting it go and being gentle with yourself. Once you've done that, the work is done. And I think that what will happen is, going forward from this, I feel like more doors are going to open up for you, especially in terms of relationships, whether it's romantic or just other relationships, maybe even relationships in your career. I feel like the door for relationships is going to open up for you. And what I mean by that is, I feel like you're going to bring in people who want to be very gentle with you and who truly have your best interests at heart. I do feel like this whole situation that you've been rejected from, you had a play in it, and they did have a play in it as well. And so, everything has multiple sides to it. It's just that at this point, you've been completely negating what you've put into this and only focusing on what they've done. And so now when you release that, I feel like you open up all the doors for people who, like I was saying before, will be more gentle with you and who truly have your best interests at heart. And I feel like whatever amends need to be made with this current group of people that you've been dealing with, I feel like just because you have let yourself go with this and you've released this and you've in a way accepted responsibility without blaming yourself for it, but you're being very gentle with yourself for it, I feel like basically everybody in your life is going to kind of get the message subconsciously, and they're also going to be a lot more gentle with you as well and have a lot more sympathy with you. And I think that some of those doors will open up again, and you will be able to build friendships back together again. And I feel like it'll be a very positive situation for you, and any kind of development or growth that needs to come from that to make those relationships better will kind of be clear to you. But if nothing is clear to you, just let things go, let things proceed as they need to, just go with the flow. So yeah, so there's that's going to work out better, and then there's also going to be these new doors of new relationships of people who truly have your best interests at heart. And that's really, for you working on this, that is the reward that you get. And I mean, the whole thing is a reward. Like I was saying, you wanted a gift and you're getting the best gift you could ever have asked for. It may not feel like that in the moment, but it is actually everything that you want. This kind of gift of a growth opportunity in the area of character development is like your dream come true. Gift of all gifts. And then, so you're already getting a gift, but then on top of that, it's going to open up relationship doors for you where you're going to bring in people who really do want the best for you and who are gentle with you and who know how to work with your personality and kind of with your ego as well, in ways that you two can collaborate and have stronger relationships than you could with most other people. Or maybe not you two, it kind of depends on the situation. It could be romantic, like I was saying, or it could be like a new group of friends, or it could be, new contacts at work. Whatever it is, like it'll open up those doors for you. So that's what I'm feeling for you right now is, really just try to identify what the issue is, but be very gentle in how you do that. Don't like sit down and try to figure it out. Just sit down and try to receive it and be gentle about it. Let it go, and everything else will transform in that moment. Once you are gentle with yourself about it, once you are open about all sides that were involved, including your own, and once you are gentle enough to let it go, that is when all the work has been done, the transformation has been made, and all the relationships that currently are in your life that have issues can transform, and you open up doors for new, better relationships to enter as well. So that wraps up this portion of this video. I am going to be doing extended videos for this general reading. You can access them at the link below to my Patreon page. And in that, we're going to go into more depth on the situation. We're going to talk about the strengths that you bring to the table in the situation that you can leverage. We're going to talk about some of the areas of growth in addition to the ones we've already talked about that you can work on to open up even more channels for good things to come into your life and more success. We're going to go look into any other fears and any blocks that you have, and we're going to release those so you can again bring more success and manifest your situations the way that you would like to. And then we're also going to look into the future potentials. So if you work on all of those blocks, as well as the blocks in this video, how does your future look going forward, given that you've already worked on these blocks? So that's what I'm going to talk about in the extended. If you're interested in that, I will see you there. If not, I hope I earned your like and your subscribe. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.